Did you know that empathy can turn into self-betrayal? How does that happen? So it's really easy. It's when you start overriding. One of the signs is when you start overriding your own signals. So when you're tired and feeling uncomfortable in a situation and or uneasy about something, you tell yourself things like, oh, they've been through so much, or I don't want to hurt them, or they need me. But you're the one who's uncomfortable in the situation at this point. You're the one who's tired. It's okay to step away. It's okay to back out of that situation. It doesn't mean you're not empathetic to them. It just means that you have the boundary and the ability to self-care so that you're not completely worn out by the end of helping them. And as a recovering people pleaser, I completely can empathize with this. It's kind of funny actually, but I can completely empathize with this because I would give and give and give and give and give, and there was nothing left to give, but I was like, by golly, I'm gonna find that extra ounce. But I wasn't giving myself, I wasn't giving to myself. I wasn't allowing myself the time to recover and heal, to be able to go back into the situation and to truly be able to be empathetic towards that other person. And oftentimes, again, as a recovering people pleaser, I personally would take on their emotions and make them my responsibility. Not my emotions, not my responsibility, not my problem. And I don't mean that as unempathetic. I mean that as like the truth. It just is the truth. Other people's emotions are not my problem. They're not my responsibility to fix. If I feel empathetic towards a situation, it is my responsibility to come from a place of love, but it's not my responsibility to fix. These are other adults we're dealing with. They can fix their own emotions. Does that sound harsh? Possibly, but it's just facts. Which leads me to the next one. Oftentimes, we trade honesty for harmony because we want to be just at peace with everything and good with everything, but then we're not honest, and then we avoid hard conversations and we soften the truths that need to be said, and we stay silent when somebody crosses the line. How is that going to be good? Excuse me. How is that going to be good for anybody? You can speak the truth from a place of love and understanding, absolutely. And it's okay to do that because people will feel that energy coming from you. They'll know if you're meaning it to be snarky or if you're meaning it from a place of true love and understanding. And if you don't feel like you can come from that place of true love and understanding, take a step back. It's okay to do that. Like, take a step back and be like, hey, we need to come back to this because if you're empathetic to other people's situations, you have that deep, visceral feeling, right? And people will feel that. People will feel your authenticity. And then you also slowly start to disconnect from yourself. And this is kind of a long-term cost, and it's really hard to like rebuild that disconnect. And I've worked on that for a number of years, but it's so true. It's just so true. So make sure that you don't start disconnecting from yourself. And when you start feeling that you're disconnecting from your own truth because you're being empathetic to somebody else's situation, then bring it back around, right? Because it's easier to kind of fix right then and there instead of like 15 years later, speaking from some kind of experience. But anyway, so how do you stop it? How do you stop without losing your empathy? You separate understanding from responsibility, and there's a distinction, right? You can say, I understand why you feel this way. And you don't say, it's my job to fix this for you. You see the difference? Start honoring your first no. Listen, if your gut is telling you no, then take that pause. Delay the response. Be like, hey, let me get back to you. Check in and make sure that your body is agreeing, because your gut kind of knows what's going on. Let it be your gut or your Holy Spirit or whatever you want to call it. If there's a distinct no, then just stop. And then tell the truth sooner and cleaner. So you don't have to over explain, you don't have to apologize aggressively, and you don't have to soften everything. So here's some examples for that. You can say, I care about you, and I can't do that. And you can say, I hear you, but I'm not able to take that on. And that's okay. It's okay to tell people that. It's totally healthy. It's totally okay. And people will be disappointed, hurt, and frustrated, by you setting your boundaries. And that's okay as well, because at the end of the day, their feelings are not your responsibility. Yeah, so make sure that you set those boundaries when you're empathetic to other people's situations. And when you set those boundaries, then self-betrayal will be less likely a factor in your life.